Good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back. Oops. Welcome back to Greedfall II. That's good. Okay. All right. I'm still setting it up. There we go. I think we're good. Good evening, everyone. Hello, I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back. Greedfall II. Got a nice unlit cigarillo that I happen to have on hand. Well, just have one of these on hand sometimes. Anyway, hi Grace. Happy birthday, by the way. Cheers. He's pretty good. Long day, but pretty good one. Another Dragon's Milk. This one is the bourbon barrel aged s'mores, and I think, let me see. Yeah, there's that toasty note to it. A little bit sweet. Could be sweeter for a s'mores. For a milk stout. Excuse me. Could be a tad sweeter for milk stout, but it is. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Is it even a milk stout? Or is it just a? No, it's just a stout. It's not a milk stout. That's why. Okay. Chocolate definitely. Okay, so stout with chocolate, toasted marshmallow, graham cracker, and natural flavors. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, if it, there we go. I think that is the difference. If it were a milk stout, I think it would. That would be the improvement it would need. It is good though. You made your dad a lover of Japanese cheesecake. Well, that's easy. Just give him some. I know I've had Japanese cheesecake like once or maybe twice. But not often. It has not been a common delicacy of mine, unfortunately. All right, let's go. Now, if we oh, your dad is a famously savory person more than a sweet one. Okay. My preferred flavor profiles go savory, sweet, salty. Sour? Then bitter? Bitter's at the bottom for everybody, right? Like, that's unquestioned. It's gotta be. That's how that works. I also don't believe in umami. I've talked about this before.
Just as I expected. Let me talk to them. I know how to handle these people.
Do you?
Wouldn't it be better to try to get past them without being seen?
That's a possibility, but are you stealthy enough for that?
Oh, come on. It's not often we get to celebrate the departure of one of the old-timers in the barracks.
I know, but we have to remain vigilant. We've got a lot of prisoners right now.
That wasn't that hard, was it? Yeah, that was actually not very difficult. Are there more? I assume you can also probably handle that by combat. Right? But yeah, anyway, like I said, I don't actually believe in umami as a base flavor. Obviously, there are things that can reasonably be called umami, but I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's a base
Bravo, you played
flavor.
your part perfectly.
Like, calling
But let's not
umami...
dawdle.
Sybil de Vespe? Is that your
Oh,
name?
de Vespe.
Oh, what is this obsession you have for names?
Interesting. Okay. De Vespe was the rival family from the DLC, from the Congregation of Merchants. That's interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, so, as I was saying though, I think that calling...
My friend is waiting for you at the entrance to the sewer to lead you to safety.
Right, the sewer, great. Calling umami a basic flavor profile, or a basic flavor, like salty, sweet, savory, sour, and bitter, is like calling yellow a primary color. Like, it's a color, don't get me wrong, it is a color, it's just very clearly a combination, or I'm sorry, not yellow, green, a primary color, right? It's not, right? It is very clearly just a combination of blue, green, is blue and yellow. Forgot my color theory to use this example. I apologize. That was silly of me. Anyway, though, yeah, I do think that, like I said, it's umami is, I think, unless I'm gravely mistaken about something, but I believe umami to be just a pure, simple combination of savory and salty. I don't think there's anything else to it.
Who is Esevena Mesadegi? Wiskatasarto Aridenger. You! I won't let you lock us up again.
I have no intention of doing so. I've come to help you escape.
I can confirm
Not
that.
from the ship.
She's the one who sent me.
I'm glad to see you're all right. Oh, I don't know you, though.
My name is Fausta. I was locked up for...
I'm sorry to interrupt you, my dear, but this is hardly the time for pleasantries. They
Okay, fine,
must
whatever.
have realized that you've escaped by now. They'll have raised the alarm. I'll create a diversion and try to draw them off in another direction. But you've got to get out of here. I'll meet you as planned at the end of the sewers, just outside the city. Go on.
Be careful.
Okay. He says, so when he loves a dessert that's particularly somewhat sweet-leaning, he usually won't like it, but he would sneak out to the fridge to finish that Japanese cheesecake at 2 a.m. if I left it upstairs.
Let's hurry. Even if Sybil is able to distract the guards, we'd better not dally. Wading through the sewers isn't much fun, but these tunnels should lead us out of the city.
Onet katasach. Nas munig in Ormonse.
Quai beurt ni echte de gauda ma keut forme dem drukwe.
Quota fravindau kasaren noikse. You were on the boat that kidnapped us. Why?
It's my job. My life. I'm a knot. Ugh. But I want you to know that I completely disapprove of the things you were made to suffer.
Anything in the poop? Okay, so we've ruled out Indian as a possible sort of inspiration for the Bridge Alliance, because they have sewers rather than streets, or the Ganges. Anyway, blocked. Okay. Are we gonna be like going back through here at all, or is this? I'm sure we are, right? They wouldn't build all of these not dead ends, these actual places through. These like, closed doors with actual hallways behind them. If this were a one-shot, single-use area, would they? Would they? Grace says, "Sit safely in my fridge down here. I have something that would pair gorgeously with my coffee tomorrow morning." Good. Ah, shortcut. No, not shortcut. I was wrong. I mean, that may wind up being a shortcut. Like if I go this way. Yeah, no.
Even with Sybil's help, it's likely that guards are on our tail, so we need to move as quickly as possible.
I mean, you say that, but like... Oh, well, okay. Yeah, you say that we have to move as quickly as possible, but I seem to be, you know, going about my merry business. Also, there's a lot of very significant spider webs here. Oh, God. Oh, no. Welp. Here we go. What are any of your abilities, huh? What's Alvida? What do you do? Area effect, cutting charge. Sure.
Who's there?
Oh god, there's more coming. Ow. Okay, no, I don't actually need that. I do need Door of Death. That will help. Break his shields. We need that. Freedom. Please get up. Ow. My body.
This armor is no good anymore!
Let's initiate healing Alvida. And let's killing touch this guy. First aid myself. Well, oops. Wow, that was...
What is that thing?
A kind of crustacean that has infested the sewers of most major cities. Unfortunately, there are more and more of them. Stay well away. Those nasty beasts are very aggressive.
Okay, great. Crustaceans? Really? They're eating a corpse. I don't think I'm going to be able to get past these fuckers. That was quite something. First aid, Alvida. Okay. Break a shield. I need that. Sharp edge saber, break another shield. And then wait on that. Oh, jeez. There's... oh, that has a lot of shields. Oh, Jesus. Okay, this is gonna be rough. I'll wait for that other one, that's fine. Oh god, there's a lot of them. This isn't great. I need Divine Ray on you. Yep, that'll work. And Nilan, Power Shot, break your shields. Break your shields yet. And Killing Touch, though. I need to First Aid Alvida.
My armor's no good anymore.
Uh-oh. Shot, I guess. Break a shield again. Hurtful words. Let's go focus fire. Actually, wait, hold on. Let's Cling Charge. Then we'll Sharp Edge Saber. Divine Ray again, right? That'll work. Yeah, I need to heal Nilan and Alvida. That'll work. And then he can... It's healing Alvida. Powered Shield's coming back. Right, Nilan is getting hurt, but now he's out of the fray, so that's fine. I need to First Aid Alvida again. And then keep attacking. Let's Sharp Edge Saber it. Twice, actually. Oh, wait, no, she can't, because it's cooldown. Right. Jeez, okay. She's just gonna Missile of Light, I guess? Alright. Let's Shadow Projection. We're killing this thing, just very gradually. Alvida's not doing so great, so I'm gonna... Healing Wave. That works. Wow! Okay, those were pretty tough, actually. Oh, activate a mechanism to open the door, okay. Oh, Bard, okay, fine. So when they say that those, ooh, what is that? A Flamberge or something? Captain's Cutlass, huh? Wonder if I can use that. Probably can. Although I also... Nilan, let's Initiate's healing Alvida real quick. That helps.
What exactly are knots?
Knots are members of a guild of navigators, explorers, and sea transporters.
There we go.
A clan of seafaring human traffickers.
No, While knots can,
Just this time.
of course, transport people, we're not supposed to do it against their will.
I don't remember anyone ever asking us, though.
I know, I'm sorry. On the ship, I was in no position to go against my captain's decisions.
Everyone back off.
Why
Okay.
I've come all this way to find you. To make amends.
I mean, that's interestingly honorable. There is a, the Knots have a sort of code of conduct, right? An honor code, if you want. Which I think is actually new lore. I don't know if that was ever mentioned before.
The one who says her name is Sybil.
Oh, she's very resourceful. She's probably already waiting for us outside.
Huh?
She knows the city like the back of her hand. And up there are no giant crustaceans to fight or floodgates to operate.
Just... What way am I supposed to be going here? Another one of those crabbies. Another 3 or 4 of those crabbies. Okay, that's a little rough. Yeah, the dialogue around those crabs seems at least to me to indicate that they are
I don't like
they're
the
going to be a
idea of
common
being
enemy no matter where we
responsible
go.
for freeing a suspected criminal.
After what you just did, you're one too in the eyes of the law. But if it's any consolation, I'm not a murderer or anything like that.
Where have we been taken?
You're talking about the city, I presume? This is Alima, also known as the City of Stars, because of the observatory that stands on top of the hill. It's the largest city in Tynea, the capital.
Hey, we got around them. Sweet. Let's not ruin it. No, that's not...
The door behind us closed.
Actually, these are floodgates used to regulate the water level in the sewers. They help prevent flooding.
Okay, but that actually didn't change the water level at all. It just changed the completely porous gates. I don't get it. This... I don't know. That seems like a level design oversight, frankly. Oh, no. Okay. Alright. Maintenance zone. Oh, a barrel. Another barrel.
These doors seem to work together.
There must be a way to open them one after the other, independently.
There probably is.
Maybe we'll find something that'll activate the faulty lever behind this grate.
Yeah, maybe. More stuff. I should actually start going through some of my equipment, shouldn't I? Note from the sewer chief to a young recruit. Bensu, I'm writing to remind you so you don't forget how to operate the airlock levers. You've already nearly caused a disaster, so let's hope this will prevent you from causing one for real. 3 levers operate the sewer gate. 2 of the levers work in tandem, with one always acting on the other. Third lever is used to uncouple the other two to allow access for workers. In other words, you. However, it's really important to reconnect the levers after use. Not doing so could cause flooding in the city during the next period of high water. I know it's very stiff and increasingly difficult to move, but if you rub some oil on it, I'm sure it'll work.
Use it to grease the sewer's floodgates. This will be useful.
It looks like the lever that's stuck is the one.
What was that?
Excuse me? Okay, then. Oh, there's more coming. All right. Nilan, would you kindly... Yeah, there. Then Vriden, let's... No, not basic attack. Sharp edge. Sharp rapier thing. Which ancient civilization invented sewers? Underground sewers? I actually don't know. Babylon? Are you razzing me? Was it the Hindu Kush? If so, I would frankly not be all that surprised. I thought it was Babylon. But again, I could also be wrong. I don't actually think it was Greece or Rome, but I could also, like I said, be wrong about that. Dylan, kill Alvida for me, and then Fausta. Dylan's gonna do that. Maybe I should. What's this? What's my status here? Oh, these are coin guards. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna give her power with that. Oh, it didn't do it. Words of support. Alvida, please. Nilan, let's heal Alvida again, also. She's a good tank, it's just she doesn't have the armor for it. This is rough. Was it Indus Valley? That'll work. Oh. Oh! What was that? Let's Coded Arrow him. Let's Divine Ray him also. So at least she can get some health back. Does not need to taunt, frankly. I need a cutting charge. First aid myself, or first aid yourself, whatever. Okay, the Harappans and Mohenjo-Daro groups specifically. Really? Underground plumbing, huh? I mean, I buy that. Environmentally, it makes sense. I'm more making fun of, actually, yeah. See, that's the thing. I make fun of early modern India. Or, I guess modern India, broadly speaking. But a lot of that is, frankly, I won't say in response to or because of contact with the British, but the interactions with the British, the let's say one-sidedly voluntary interactions with the British, certainly contributed there. Who's coming back? Right. Now, need grease, I think. What is? Okay. Craft recipes. Not that. No. That actually doesn't help me. Alright, let's see if there's anything I can upgrade here. Ooh. Captain's Cutlass is way worse. That's not way worse, but it is worse than Cavalry Saber. Okay. Let's see. That looks absurd. Hey. What about this? Just cloth fingerless gloves. A lot lower armor. Jeez. Way good magic deflection. Better weight. Resistance to poison. Yeah, let's go for it. That's fine. Good improvement. Any of these? Traveler's coat. Yeah. No. But more life, that's handy, but... What about pants? Are these actually better? No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, what about Tina? Or Alvida, not Tina. No. Needs light. Linear change, sure. You can have torque. And they lose bandana, I guess? Sure. Doesn't hurt. No cloaks, gloves, mine are better, but no. Clothes, Janissary kaftan, which also doesn't fit her well. Coin guard doesn't either, really. Does she actually have heavy armor? Why does she have heavy armor? Sim says, hello! Driving back from the gym. Be home in 20 minutes. Well, hello! And welcome back in 20 minutes. Okay, the Indus Valley had covered brick-lined drains which ran along streets to direct wastewaters away from homes. The Mesopotamians improved on that base invention and went on down to the Romans around 600 BC. Interesting. So, okay, that's probably why I was thinking Mesopotamians. Alright. I like the look of that better. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe she can wear coin guard stuff, huh? Yeah, that's probably better, right? Yeah. Ah, better damage to targets without shields. She's going to be hitting targets with shields a lot, though. Oh, never mind. I misread it. That's why. There we go. That's better. All right. For Vriden. I can't get Taleme rings yet. I want to. Although maybe I guess I should just do tier for D bracelets. But... oh, whatever. Posture improvement. Improves do-gooder stance. Reduces the recovery time of healing skills by 5%. Meh. Nah. Improves sharp-edged saber, double thrust, double size, scathing blow. Ooh, oh, I pick one. Yeah. Reduce cost and action points. Yeah, for sure. That's very good. All right, attributes. Let's go focus. Don't do talent. Okay. Nilan. He gets hurt enough. That might be useful. What's this? Eh. Eh. With mutual advantage. It's quite good. Let's go. He doesn't have a problem with focus. Let's go with perception. Let's give him good at bows, shall we? Okay. I like her. As a build, at least. Hurtful Words is nice. Combat healing is good. Shadow projection is fun. That's... oh, she already has that. That's quite good. Divine Ray. Torment. Oh, this isn't on my quick bar. Interesting. Wait, combat healing. What's this do? Uses magical deflection. No, that's not bad. Immunize against burn. Eh. Ooh, weapon blessing. The caster or an ally's physical damage into magic damage for a second. That's pretty good. Vendetta. Let's go magic. Let's go weapon blessing. That's quite good. All right, attributes. Will, obviously, right? She needs agility and strength. Interesting. Pump up her focus a little, agility a little too. Skills. I have 3 points. Support. Of death. I can upgrade this to thirst for blood. It's not bad. Killing touch, not bad. Stun. Oh, well, yeah. That's great. Oh, and then, oh, yeah. That synergizes. Very nice. Execution. Applies immobilization. To Alvida's challenge. Taunt and immobilization. That's quite good. Okay, yeah, deal. Alright, sweet. It'll work. Alright. Oh, and I now have to... That's right, I have to upgrade the... upgrade whatever people are using. Hers crit chance. Yeah, she uses crit chance. Okay, wait. No, crit chance. Back damage. Nah, crit chance. All right. Let's see. That adds armor and resistance to mark. Sure, why not? Let's just go for it. First two, same thing. Armor. Affinity to rage. No, she's not going to use rage. Resistance to burn. That's not that important. Same thing. For her... Affinity to rage, man. Yeah. Craft. I think we're good. Good for now. Moving along. Move along. Can I go there? No. Okay. Wait, but where is the lever? And where do I get grease? There's an explosive. I feel like I need to go back up. Oh, I also feel like I need to heal. Yeah, do. Okay, there's those two. Where's the other lever? Oh, it's this one. Okay, hold on. What's that? Oh, that's target locking. Okay. How do I unlock from a target? No. Okay, there we go. Alright, right, I need to switch my cape, that's why. Right.
We are missing something to make this work.
No, we're not.
Were you able to action the lever? Great. Now we can open the doors one by one.
And let's go then. Doors are open. Let's get out of here. What in the world? This is great. Okay. Uh-oh. Weapon blessing. Why not? Rid of his armor. Stun him. Go back to attacking him. Knock him back. Why not? Shoot, there's more. Okay, let's Divine Ray you. Some heals onto Oveda. Let's charge you. Milan. Heal Albeida. Killing touch, same way. Albeida. Roar. These guys. Fausta. Weapon blessing. Not Nilon. It's Nilon. Weapon blessing. Freedom. Okay. Oh, she is stunned. Okay. Oveda, go stun the gunner. And then challenge this guy. Nilon. Burn him. Okay, that was fun. Be it a bit unexpected. I got a gun. More coins. All right. Not possible. Access to the port. Let's see. Alright. So... Anyway. So in the news lately, there are a few things more significant at the moment, apparently, than aliens. Look at that's cool. Quite frankly, I don't believe a word of it. Not because I necessarily disbelieve in aliens. Maintenance zone back there. Let's try going back that way. Not because I necessarily disbelieve in aliens. Now, I am highly skeptical of aliens coming here. Put it that way. I'm highly skeptical, like I said, of aliens actually making it to Earth. I don't think it's necessarily impossible, but it is highly implausible. Extremely unlikely. Doesn't mean it can't happen. I think it can. But I do think that almost certainly all UFO experiences are just that, unidentified objects, or with otherwise, excuse me, mundane explanations of some sort or another.
We're almost there. Push this lever, and we'll be able to get out.
Your
Yeah,
escape
but-
plan was brilliant.
Getting out of here is just the first step. We still have a long way to go.
To where? What is the plan? Ah, jeez. Okay, attack that. Attack the barrel. Oh, there's a big boy down there. Uh-oh.
May the Enlightened grant us
Toxic Onysia. That's gross. Alright, Vriden. There's one coming for you. Right? Just gonna try and move to behind it. Let's find Ray, and then combat healing. And you go up there. Then shoot that one. You, back up slightly, then roar. Okay. Jesus. Is this one spitting acid at me or something? Nilon, do you wanna do something about that? Like that, maybe? And then yeah, Initiate's healing, Alvida. And Frieden, I'm successfully behind the thing. Can I killing touch it? Work. Wave the 3. And then first aid himself. Kill touch. You dodged it. There's a lot of dodging going on, isn't there? Okay, let's weapon blessing. Redone. Milan initiates healing Vita again. Well, that was fun. Jeez. Alright. Man, I gotta say, the combat is so very different in this game. I like... Okay, so here's the thing. I like the combat system in general. I think that the problem with it, if anything, is that it takes too long. Like, the health numbers are too high and the damage numbers are too low, something like that. You know? Are you feeling that watching, or am I just feeling that playing? I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to judge that. I think I can tweak that, though, can't I? Or was that... No, it was another game I was thinking of. Which actually might be worth playing on stream at some point. Maybe.
At last.
Oh, jeez, I'm getting jittery, sorry.
I thought we'd never see the light of day again.
I hate to interrupt your celebration, but we mustn't linger. We're still too close to Alima.
Where are you taking us?
Far from here.
Okay. That doesn't explain. Not that I would have any perspective, but whatever.
There you are.
Why did you... Okay. Could just go around.
We nearly left without you.
Breaking several people out of prison is no easy task. There were a few surprises.
So this is the famous friend you told me about.
Friend is not the word I would employ, but he is someone I trust. Allow me to introduce you to Ludwig. He's a smuggler who knows every back road between here and Dutton.
Interesting.
Okay.
Ludwig, let me introduce...
No introductions. This isn't a party. The less I know, the better. And it's better for you, too.
That looks like a young,
That way
pretty
I
boy
won't have
Scorpio.
anything
Yeah,
to
I can see
tell
that.
them if I get caught.
Except with Corbin's hair.
Why are you helping us? We don't have any gold to give you.
I mean, we have a
Since
little bit.
gold
whatever.
makes the world go round, that would be a valid reason. But sometimes
Oh, he's
I
got the mark now.
in exchange
Did he
for
not
something
before?
else. And a Naught's debt is invaluable
No, he did,
to
he did.
someone like me.
You got us out of prison, and now you are indebted to this man for us. Why?
Because I believe it's the right thing to do. It was one of my people's ships that took you from your home. One of your kinfolk lost her life. I owe it to you.
Okay. I mean, again, yeah, if it is, especially if that is, I think that's added to the lore. I don't remember that being in, being mentioned in the first game. That the Naughts that one of the sort of laws for the Nauts is that they don't transport people against their will. Because that would also prohibit them transporting prisoners, which is weird. Like, I don't know that that's the intention of that. I mean, clearly it's just sort of an anti-slavery thing that they're trying to get across now. But that would problematize a lot of the generally what the Nauts do. Interesting. Oh, it is brought up in the first game. I don't remember. Like, does it come up with Does it come up with slaving with the British Alliance doing their nasty experiments, or has it something to do with prisoners? I thought I remembered something about prisoners and wanting to send prisoners back to the mainland or something like that, or to the continent. They just ignored it. The entire first exploration was completely swept under the rug. Right. The previous expedition by, what was it, primarily the Guild of Merchants, right? Or the Congregation of Merchants, right? There's a huge secret that came up when you find out your mother was taken. Right. Right, with Vasco? Vasco or Fosco? It was Vasco, right? The Naut companion from the first game. I liked him.
Alvida said you were a smuggler. What's that?
Smugglers are very clever people who discreetly move forbidden or taxable goods from one country or region to another. We know all the secret routes and how to avoid guards, hence why we sometimes take passengers such as yourselves.
I do not understand. If these goods are forbidden, they must be dangerous for your people, are they
how
not?
naive.
Let's just say I don't agree with those who have decided that the goods aren't dangerous. Lucky for you, I don't agree with the fact that they lock certain people up, either.
Your brother is so naive. Is that just like... That has so many implications. That carries with it the implication, at least the assumption, that the Tirfredians have no concept of an unjust law. Which, I mean, if we're to be realistic, just means that he's cripplingly naive, right? That there are unjust laws, it's just he doesn't recognize the fact. Maybe because he's young, maybe because he doesn't have the experience, maybe because he's a sort of spiritualist being a deny god, or a deny god in training. Or maybe being a deny god being a sort of semi-ruler in training. He sort of bought into the propaganda, if you will, of the ruling class. Or it means to imply that there are no such things as unjust laws among the Tirfredians, and that's insane. That's the noble savage myth, like, cranked up to 11. Like, that's not true, though. Like, Erica says in the first game, they were one with nature and never bad, or something silly like that. They were bad sometimes. Like, they were very clearly, vicious. They're very clearly naive. They're very clearly unjust in a lot of cases. There was kind of all kinds of politics and backbiting even among the native Tirfredians in the first game. Now they were trying to sort of portray them as kind of the noble savage. That's true. I'll grant you that. But also, it wasn't just purely that. There was some nuance in the portrayal of the first game. That is actually a good point. They were always kind of like this. This isn't a novelty to your brother's name. Erica says they were super. Our laws are right. You people across the water are weirdos. Yeah, they were very. They bought into their mythology. Very hardcore. Which, when you've got something like Enon Nilfrictimen, that grants magical powers to your Dunagada, okay, I guess you have a really solid basis for your sort of collective mythology, but when that collective mythology sort of metastasizes into a social theory and not just a sort of limited metaphysics, that's when we encounter problems.
Where are you taking us?
We're headed north, outside a small coastal village. Some of your kinfolk are hiding there already.
Others from Tir Fradi? Really?
Did you think you were the only ones who were brought here and escaped? Many
well, that's
powerful people in this cursed country find it delightful to keep pet natives. Your kind don't like that very much, just like you don't enjoy being prisoners.
And the villagers haven't turned them in.
They've got other things to do, like survive. Helping the rich find their toys wouldn't bring them anything, but trading with the newcomers can be invaluable. But we still need to avoid the soldiers as much as possible.
Does that mean we're avoiding the coin guard in general? Actually, this is interesting. That people like him weren't really in the first game. Because people like him weren't the kind of people to go across the sea to a new colony. Not really. I mean, maybe he would be, but it would be a really hard job actually getting him there and for him to, stay there and establish himself. This is really we're seeing kind of the seedy underbelly, but also the real wear and woof of of at least of Bridgelands. Anyway, let's keep going.
I think we have no choice but to follow you.
Don't worry. My head is probably worth more than yours. I have no reason to take any unnecessary risks. Speaking of which, we'd better get going. The longer we hang around here, the more likely one of those louts on the ramparts will see us.
You are kind of in the open. Ooh, I like that. Very Southern Italian architecture. I like it a lot. It's gorgeous.
My friends, this is where we part ways. I'll lead
What
these
is that
people to
creature?
safety and meet you on the other side of the border.
It's quite cool.
You're leaving the caravan?
They have a long way to go before they reach Dooten. Let's go. We must find my contact.
Okay.
He often fishes further up the river.
Who is this contact?
One of your people. The only one I really know. He'll lead us to the others. They're hiding somewhere in these hills or in the ruins. Without his help, we'll never find them.
Yeah, that's right. There was an ancient civilization on the continent. I forgot. Well, all right then. Oh, hey. We have an incomplete party. What's that? Okay, so we gotta have Ludwig. Oh, I have too many party members. I see. What does she do? Alvida's redundant.
Those cursed monkeys are everywhere around here.
Hello, Imsip. Welcome, welcome. Alright, let me see. Wait. Where's Sybil?
Stay on your guard. My contact usually waits a little further up the river. So
I thought I
as
had
not to be
Sybil in
seen
the
from
party.
Village.
Okay, well. Let's do our attributes, yeah. Let's go agility. Let's go will. Let's keep our will up a little bit. Okay, what actually is he? Let me see. He's a tank. Weapons of war. Impact. Yeah, that's good. That's good to have. Oh, Imsip, you have tickets to Star Wars Celebration. Really? It is over in California nowadays, isn't it? Very cool. I went to 4 and 5 way back in the day. Like, the thing is, I don't know if I could enjoy going to a modern Star Wars Celebration. You know? Mainly just because I love Star Wars, but not the same Star Wars that is currently being made and promoted. That's really the problem, isn't it? Last time you went, it was like 17 minutes away near Disneyland. Loved having. Well, California is a little bit far. Let me just say that. The 2 times I went, it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, right near Disney World. It was in the Orange County Convention Center, right there in like southern Orlando, which is a nice place, nice convention center. But that was a lot of fun because that was like, gosh, what was that? 2010 and then 2011, I think. It was like right. It was right before the, or maybe it was 2010 and then 2012, because it was shortly before the Disney buyout. But it was a lot of fun. That's actually when I got my lightsaber, which is here. Oh no! Oh no! Hold on. Sorry. Please stand by. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, my lightsaber. Hard to see on this camera, but it's all steel, blued steel, with nice little patterning in there. Have batteries in this? No, good. Don't keep it with batteries in. But it's rather old-fashioned in terms of like modern prop sabers. It doesn't have any sound. It doesn't have sound. It has the blade mount is a thumb screw that punches through to the inside kind of thing. It's AA batteries. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty old school, but I do greatly like it. Good. Anyway, let's see. He can get 2 different things. Taunt. Yeah. Rampart. Violent charge applies projection. Eh, nice. Knockdown also applies projection. 10% of the caster's life restores 2 action. Yeah. Virus strength increases damage inflicted by 5% less than 70. Nah, smuggler's dodge. Smuggler's ruse. What's this? Shadow impact. Heavy damage. 50% of the physical damage is inflicted as magic damage. Oh, that's nice. 50% additional damage if the target is cursed. I don't have anything that can curse. No, let's go violent charge. Yeah, that'll work. And then attributes, he needs strength. And then endurance. Yeah, that'll do. He also needs better equipment, I assume. He needs equipment at all, I assume. Okay, cool. Guard helmet. gloves. Rusty thing. Way lower armor. Purple regiment, that's better. Rusty knight armor. Can I unequip it from her? Well, that sucks. I don't even know how to change my party. Alright. Well, I'll figure it out eventually, I hope.
Are you lost?
Yeah, kinda. All right, let's go. Fucking monkey things. Mechanisms, that's good. Okay. Why? God, there's a lot of them. Maybe I shouldn't mess with them, huh? Alright, moving right along. There's a camp nearby. Find it and set up a camp there. Your companions. Stuff. Cool, where? Oh, up here, okay. Yeah, but how do we get up there? The sunny orchard. This is nice. Again, this feels very Southern Italian. Ah, that's where all the monkeys are. I went around them. See, I didn't need to fight them. I just went around. Isn't that so nice? Go up there, but I want to go up to this camp.
We are missing something to make this work.
I'm like, oh, it's a craft test. I should have switched capes. Ooh, monkeys. Those are all the monkeys. With all the hostile monkeys. How do I get to this camp? This way, maybe? Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, no, thank you. Let's set up camp. Replenish supplies, huh? Hello, everyone. Yeah, I guess I'll get her a new outfit eventually, but I want to switch it to him. So he can wear that. You can wear that. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, I might as well upgrade their skills, yeah. I'm probably not going to use Sybil a lot, just because she's redundant to my skills by a lot. Rage, dealing a final blow, reinforcement. Advanced position. Hurtful words. Restore shields for every critical hit. Enemy that suffers immobilization. I can't immobilize, though. Can I? Oh, taunt immobilizes. Oh. Oh, that's really good. And I can't unlock. Oh, I don't have points. Okay, that's why. That's why. Okay. Agility. Yeah. She has double blades. Interesting. Okay. It does use agility. Okay. It's fine. All right, we're good. Hi, Fausta.
If I can be of any help, let me know.
This is interesting that these are two separate questions. I guess this is more like theology. This is more like her personal experience thereof, maybe? Is that the distinction? But let's ask about her homeland. Let's ask about Thélème and see what extra lore we can get here. I'm gonna weirdly cut off. That might be better.
You say you hail from Thélème. What can you tell me about your country?
My country? It's almost strange to put it that way, even though it is true that I was born there. Thélème is vast, greener and less arid than Tainea. Numerous cities budding with towers and belfries pierce our horizons. The most magnificent among them is the capital, Montorga. The Council of Cardinals rules from there. They are both our highest political and religious authority, and they wield powerful magic.
Strange name.
But that's a paltry description that lacks personality, isn't it? In truth, Thélème is vastly complex and utterly beautiful. I hope one day to return. The way the sunlight dances over the church rooftops at dawn is a warmth I often miss.
So why are you here?
What are you doing in Tainea? Your countries are at war, are they not?
I had to leave my country. I was banished after an unfortunate incident.
I see.
I could have gone to Peren. It would have been less of a challenge. I did in fact travel through there before arriving in Olima.
Peren is the
There
Empire,
were too
right?
many things that reminded me of my home country. And too many people from Thélème who bore grudges because of my actions. Going to Tainea was a
So what'd
risky
you do?
leap into the complete unknown. But it offered me the chance to have a new life.
I crossed paths with missionaries from Teleme on Tir Fradi. They spoke of your religion. But what can you tell me about it?
You already know that we worship a god that we call the Enlightened, and that Saint Matthias, his prophet, converted us to worshipping him. The Enlightened blesses us with his light, the source of all life, and offers some the gift of magic. I'm no expert in theology. I wasn't much of a student on the subject. I have a more instinctive approach, despite my gift. But if you are truly interested in the topic, it won't be hard to find entire books on the subject.
Even here? I wouldn't have thought those books would be very common in Tainia. Or Toinia, as Vriden would say. Yeah, this brings up a debate, a question that I had throughout a lot of the previous game, which is do Teleme, whatever, worship God? Is the Enlightened is the Enlightened that than which no greater can be conceived? Is it being itself? Is it God in the proper sense? And her description there, cursory as it was, seems like the answer is yes. Certainly in comparison to Enon Milfrictimen, which is very much a local deity, a creature rather than creator. It's almost a localized pantheism, which is weird, but actually that is fascinating. So we today, at least in religious studies, we tend to divide theology into atheism, monotheism, polytheism, and pantheism, with some offshoots, right? And Enon Milfrictimen is somewhere oddly in between polytheism, a god, and pantheism, which there's no term for the deity in pantheism, no common term at least, because Enon Milfrictimen, the one of 1,000 faces, one with 1,000 faces, or the deity of 1,000 faces, or whatever. I'm going to use the Tir Fredian term. Is particular, right? Is localized to Tir Fredi. Tir Fredi is its specific domain, and presumably, at least, has no power, or at least no interest in the continent, which means that it is absolutely is really finite, but it's also local. But it's also sort of the spirit of the land. It is the animating principle of Tir Fredi. As an inert body, it is what gives it life, which is really how we would describe the god of pantheism. It is what gives being life. It is all that is taken as an intelligent whole, maybe something like that. And so it's Enon Milfrictimen is a very interesting sort of localized pantheism. And I have to wonder if this has historical parallels. I don't know of them. I'm no expert on historical religions. But thinking of a local deity, not in the way that most pagans that we think of historically have thought of local deities, but as a kind of embodiment of of a place, of our place, our world, even if that is not all of the world, you know. It's interesting. I get the impression that this is based upon some Native American religion, particularly North American, but I don't know. I don't know enough about it to make a solid comparison there. I can't say for sure. It's interesting, though, certainly. It's outside of, or at least between, the typical categories that are assigned by sort of modern religious studies, academically speaking.
Are you a believer as well?
Yes. Are you not yourself a believer, even though your divinity goes by a different name? How can one not believe when the Enlightened, or the god you worship, blesses you with the power to defy the laws of nature? I
Good
know
point.
well that the Alliance thinks it is nothing more than a phenomenon they've yet to explain. And I'm sure that in the end, a scientific explanation will be found for everything. But I do not share their opinion.
Which is also interesting because she takes the San Mateus explanation of a sort of oneness between Animal Frictimen and the Enlightened. That Animal Frictimen is something like an aspect of, or an emanation of, or an instantiation of the Enlightened. Which is, I think, if I remember my lore correctly, that was the conclusion that Saint Mateus finally concluded. What he finally landed on.
I must leave you.
See you later.
Which is partially correct, right? That's partially, how these things work. Because that is, in some cases and to some extent, basically how deities, gods, work, right? Gods can be several different things. They can be just made up. They can be mythological, purely mythological. They can be, in other words, a description of some aspect of reality that primitive or misunderstanding people attribute personhood to, right? Something like that. Which, okay, fine. Maybe that's the case in a lot of these cases. Or gods, finite deities, can be demons. They can be demons masquerading as gods to trick, coerce mortals into worshipping them, and turning away, therefore, from the true God. Another option, though, is that they are angels, and that their purpose is to lead these primitive people who do not have the divine revelation in the direction of the worship of the true God. That's an option. Another option, which is this one, certainly an interesting one, is that these other deities, or at least some of these other deities, are aspects of, or attempts by primitive peoples to grasp the divine, the true divine. And so by worshipping their pagan deities, they're really offering worship to God, just in a misunderstood and incomplete sort of way. Which, by the way, in my D&D setting, I don't actually have that as an option. Right? There is a... So, my D&D setting, how it works is there's a... Among the humans, at least, there is a pagan nation and there's a monotheistic nation. The monotheistic nation, it was sort of an offshoot of this ancient grand empire that was pagan, based on the Tesseon, this group of 4 primary deities, human deities, and then a bunch of little smaller gods. And this initial prophet basically got a vision of a god, capital G, that was above and governing over, and the god of the gods, which led to a kind of monotheism to develop. And so there is, there are theological disputes in the game setting between people who think that the various polytheistic gods of the old nation, of the old country, are just made up. They're just misunderstandings of natural reality, or that they are real, but they're demonic. They're drawing people away from God, from the true God. Or And this is the most specific to this setting. The option is that they are true gods, but they are servants of the true God, capital G, the one God. And I left out the option that these gods, these various deities, are ways that people have come up with of worshiping the true God. I left that out as an explanation because it doesn't lead to interesting conflicts the way that the others do. The way that the others can lead to interesting theological disputes, especially between factions within the sort of monotheistic religion, but also can lead into conflict. Obviously, if you think they're demons, can lead into conflict with the old pagans. Hey, Sybil. Why can't I talk to you? Oh, that's why. You see the whole
Now
button.
that we're a safe distance from the prison, I imagine you're expecting me to introduce myself?
You're
Sybil
sitting
de
really
Vespe,
close to
at your
Alvida.
service.
De Vespe, as in the family who rules Peren.
The same. I'm the niece of Prince Alexandre. And in case you were wondering, I'm just as diabolical and manipulative as he is. Everyone fears me. But what about you? Who are
Wait,
you?
Peren?
Some terrible criminal?
I'm Fausta. I was born in Teleme and banished from there as well. I wound up in jail for having seen too much. I was accused of spying for my motherland. You can decide if that's terrible or not.
I must admit, I thought you would have taken flight as soon as you got out of jail.
I'm in good company. Why would I run?
But you must have questions. Who is this mysterious woman, really? How does she manage to remain so elegant after crossing through the sewers in half of Tainea?
Okay. Hold on. I need to understand the political situation here, because I'm trying to remember exactly who the de Vespes were in the first game, because I remember them being a powerful family within the congregation of merchants. So is Peren part of the congregation? Like a city-state kind of thing? Or is it one of the, like, the free cities? Or is it the Empire? Because the Empire is at war with Bridge Alliance, if I remember correctly. Shoot. I gotta figure this out. Oh, I can't ask about the political situation and about Peren. I need to. Dang. Well, let's go through all this and then we'll get to it. Yeah.
Why did you come and free us from prison?
Because it was fun, of course. Like any spoiled noblewoman, I'm desperately bored. And any distraction is welcome. I jest. I simply
Okay.
did my best to respond adequately to my good friend Alvida's request. I wouldn't refuse your thanks, but it would be more fitting for you to thank our kind-hearted Nort.
Yes, Imsimp was. I was not discussing them specifically because, quite frankly, they're not all that relevant either to the campaign as it currently is going. It might be at some point in the future, I think. But right now, the party is in Sanctia, the monotheistic kingdom, and are well within it, and are working for its ruler and its ecclesium. They're not all that interested in the various pagan gods, but they might come up eventually. I was more talking about how the different sort of factions within Sanctia view the pagan gods. That is a more interesting question, I think. Especially a more relevant question. Alright, let's see.
How did you manage to enter the prison? You didn't poison all the guards.
No, as you were able to see for yourself. It just so happens that I was, a diplomat in Alima.
Oh no.
I was a representative of the merchant congregation there. It gave me a number of privileges, including the right to visit most of the city's official buildings.
You seem quite well equipped for a diplomat.
I'm a divest.
You have
We're born with a
daggers.
sword in one hand and a vial of poison in the other.
Yeah, that tracks with what we heard in the first game. Imsimp says, so Sancti are the good guys. Yeah, but they're not the only good guys. Just because Sancti are the good guys does not mean that that Theandrica, the pagan kingdom, are the bad guys. Yes, they have been in conflict, certainly, but not always. The beast folk as well, the non-humans, are also not necessarily the bad guys. There are bad guys, but quite frankly, the bad guys are more often going to be criminals, brigands, nefarious types, and of course monsters within society. Ah, you're intrigued by the dragon folk. Yeah, they're culturally speaking, they're based off of a sort of combination of the East, as understood by medieval Christendom. So they're kind of a combination of Arab and Far Eastern, so sort of Chinese. Culturally speaking, at least stereotypically culturally. Again, as understood by, as seen or as imagined by the Christian West. Yeah, they're lizard underclass. That's a little bit borrowed from D&D, frankly. But also, again, that let's just say Eastern civilizations are well known for slavery, and so I gave it a kind of lore reason to, I don't know, justify it. But yeah, Dragonborn Tinyin, in their language, and lizard folk, or Duyul, are different species. They're completely separate species. They're both reptilian, vaguely, but they're different species. And so, the lizard folk live in the Dragonborn Empire, but they're not particularly smart, like individually. They tend to be they are like a couple of standard deviations below the sort of average Dragonborn intellect. In other words, they have an innate -4 racial modifier to intelligence. So there's that. Your average lizard folk has an int of 6. So in D&D terms. So yeah, there's that. But also, they don't have their own sort of highly developed functioning society. So they're more or less part of Dragonborn society, or they have their own little, basically, villages more than anything. So, yeah, that's the idea. I did, of course, mention that there are at least some Dragonborn, particularly high-class decadent ones, who have what you might call a fetish for lizard folk concubines. And this is, again, primarily because I based the various non-human races off of the kinds of souls that Plato describes in the Republic. And so the Dragonborn are oligarchs. They're concerned with opulence, wealth, and security. Luxury goods, in other words. How intelligent are the lizard folk? What is their name? Duyul. Dhuyul, I think? Or Duyul. You want to give it a soft D. Sorry, phrasing. Yeah, so they're ruled by their necessary appetites. Whereas the Gordosti, the catfolk, the various catfolk, are timocrats in Plato's terms. They are ruled by honor. They're ruled by the spirit, in other words, the spirited part, for the sake of honor, glory, acclaim, that sort of thing. And that manifests differently in the higher class Liovoi, the lion folk, versus the lower class Koshki, the cat folk, or basically Tabaxi. Stat block I use Tabaxi for D&D. For the Liovoi, they're personally glorified. The Koshki, the cat folk, are want to be part of something greater. That's kind of their way of attaining glory, is attaching themselves to something greater. They're essentially, which by the way, they are the same species. They're basically different races, if you want to think of it that way. They serve as gulams, slave soldiers common in Middle Eastern armies in the Middle Ages. Yes. The duel, yeah, they do. They are servants. They are soldiers. Because they tend to be relatively strong and extremely resilient. Like they have boosted constitution and innate regeneration, mechanically speaking. Yeah, they tend to be very strong and very tough. So yeah, they are shock troops in the dual army. All right, sorry, in the Tenyin army, the Dragonborn army. All right, let's see why she's sticking around. Feel free to continue asking. I'll keep going.
Why did you
I
come
can talk
with
about this
us?
all day.
Someone like you must have better things to do than follow a group of freshly escaped Teofradians.
Better things to do, perhaps, but this journey has an absolutely delicious taste of adventure about it. But alas, the truth is far more mundane. After organizing your escape, it would have been difficult for me to keep my position as a diplomat.
It risks a lot.
Besides, let's just say that Alima's climate was beginning to take a toll on my health.
That's really something. Wow. Oh, speaking of delicious, I mentioned my little cigarillo. This is a Arngo Barach Irish coffee flavored cigarillo in a box like this. I don't think I've gotten the Irish coffee flavored. I've gotten the Irish cream flavored, which I actually like these a little better, maybe. They're a little bit darker. They're closer to a Maduro. They're little cigarillos, so they're convenient little things, basically like cigarette size, but not cigarettes. They don't have the paper wrappings and they don't have the filter kind of thing. They are. If you're into cigars, I recommend Aaron Cabral. Anyway, just a thought. I'm not really usually into cigars, but I like these little things. Because if I'm gonna sit and have something like a full cigar, it's gonna take a half an hour, I'll just smoke a pipe. It's more pleasant for me. It's more convenient, and it corresponds to the part of my soul which is most prominent, that being the rational part rather than the spirited part. Cigars are the kind of tobacco that appeals to the spirit, whereas the pipe is that which appeals to the mind, whereas the cigarette is that which appeals to the appetite. Chesterton came up with this theory, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was absolutely right. Stop it. I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. Let's see where it goes. She really did, to be fair, she did sacrifice a lot for us. And I don't know. I think Vriden might see something to her. That said, I think that the other girl, the Teleme, the woman from Teleme, maybe reminds him a little more of his childhood friend who died on the way over. No, nothing about where she comes from. I guess her family, sure, why not?
You seem very proud of your family. They rule over a city,
Oh, it's
if
just a
I
city,
understand correctly.
The ancient city of Peren, the oldest inhabited city on the continent, if local legend is to be believed. My family, the de Vesps, have been merchant princes there for generations.
Merchant princes, okay.
No other family in the city would be mad or suicidal enough to claim the title anyway. You see, my family has made assassination their art and manipulation their language. And an unquenchable thirst for power pulses through our veins. However, we are no longer the leaders of the congregation, as Peren has lost some of its influence. That honor belongs to the Dorsays, the princes of Serene. And of course, every member of our family has sworn to take the title from them. My uncle is His Highness Alexandre de Vespe I, assisted in his sinister plans by my cousin Octave, whose name alone is enough to make one tremble in fear. Between you and me, they're all obsessive murderers who have been driven mad by inbreeding and idleness. But their name
Fair.
still opens many doors, which could be useful to us.
Very fair. The Dorsays, by the way, are who we played as last time in the last game. The main character was a cousin of the Dorsays. Imp, unfortunately not. Yes. So to answer your question, if you look at the world map or the continent map, which is in the setting guide, Sanctia and Tenyin, I guess for you it would be Sanctia and Tenyin, don't actually border each other at all. They're separated pretty substantially by large chunks of Theandrica over here, and chunks of Gordost over here. Largely impassable mountains and lakes. In fact, Tenyin are probably the least common people to see in Sanctia. That isn't to say they're nowhere to be found. There are probably some, especially in the port cities. If they are low class enough to actually travel with merchants or that sort of thing. But actually, sorry, no. The Yule are probably less prominent because no self-respecting Tenyin would trust a Yule servant to go across the world to do his bidding. At least not without intense supervision. So I don't think that works, fortunately. Yeah, and again, the problem there is that also Duel don't really have the capacity or the organization to move in numbers like that. There might be a few here and there, like for example, one of the wardens where the player characters came from. One of the wardens was a Duel named Azim, who basically was smart enough with an intelligence score of 8. To get on a ship and travel to faraway lands and learn enough about Sanctian religion, so he would be interested in sending information and relics and literature, such as he can, back to his clan, back in Tenyin. But that's a rarity. In fact, I think he's the only Duel NPC who has showed up. Other than maybe there might have been one in a crowd somewhere in the capital city, which is also, like I said, a port city. Yeah, I don't know if that would work. I'm trying to think of where that would be reasonable. Because if it's a war band, or it's a mercenary company or something like that, they basically have to travel through Theandrica. Or the deep jungles of northeastern Gordost. maybe he's basically got a living population, a population of the Yule. Maybe? I gotta think about that. Conceptually interesting. Basically, he bought a town of the Yule from a Tinyin. Because again, Tinyin are kind of obsessed with wealth. So, a large offer of gold could convince them to part with a lot of the Yule slaves. That's plausible. So yeah, let's see about why she was willing to give up this position as a diplomat, purely to free us, a couple of natives.
You mentioned you were a diplomat in Olima. What exactly was your role?
Oh, that's not what he's
I
asking
was
about.
the
Okay.
legate, which is a way of saying I was the congregation's ambassador to Elima, at your service. I represented our nation in this great city, which, while though it's not a capital, is a major city in the Bridge Alliance. My job there was to further the congregation's commercial and diplomatic interests. I had to make sure certain agreements were reached, and sometimes
A divesp is a legate.
being signed.
That's interesting.
It's a rather boring job, to be honest. The only good part about it is that you're invited to attend ever so many parties and banquets.
I don't know. Kind of like her. Being a divesp limits that, how much I can like her, but yeah, good question. How would the character fit into the party, and why? Why would he be interested in traveling with the Kingsguard? And why would he leave that role, specifically? Because that's actually that's a big thing you have to think about is coming up with a backstory that lends itself towards essentially joining with the party. The party being agents of the king, who are out on campaign essentially with a relatively small retinue. What are essentially 4 knights, 3 squires, a few pages, and a few men-at-arms. Dispatched him to aid the king. I don't know. I almost want to think... Hear me out. Maybe the opposite. Just a thought. That, because what the king is now currently trying to do is trying to sort of secure the loyalty of the nobles by solving problems for them, or sending his people to solve problems for them, or at least see what the problems are, so that he can then solve problems for them. So a lot of the interactions the party is currently having is this or that duke, or even this or that, count or town, whatever, is having issues, or have requested aid from the king. So I'm wondering if maybe one of the dukes has you as an ambassador to sort of, I don't know, exchange assistance or something like this, maybe. We're thinking about. Or maybe you could do what you're talking about there as a sort of dispatch him to aid the king, as a kind of an offering of fealty to the new throne. But he encounters the Kingsguard first before encountering before getting to the capital. That would limit you where you're from geographically to one of the southern provinces. If you were going to be going along one of those highways up northwards towards the Mountain Stay. Oh no! You won't give Gabriel a 3rd Oreo and he's crying? Wow. That's terrible. He is suffering immensely. He doesn't want his, he wants yours. I mean, look into the provinces that the I don't know if I've actually written up anything about them. Remind me. or DM Erica, if she's in the game, she knows things. I can give you some information on any of the 3 provinces that they're currently heading towards. I mean, there's always Equifonte, which is where they're headed right now. Which is where the Pegasi come from, the Pegasus Knights. Or not the Pegasus Knights. Pegasus Knights are based out of the capital. The Pegasi, the wild Pegasi, are there. I mean, you can. You don't have to, though. You don't have to come up with your own province. I have some. See that? Here's the thing. I have some of the provinces are named. Some of them are open. And if I actually, by the way, if I do actually wind up writing this up as a campaign setting, I probably want to leave some of them open, or players to insert as their backstory, like sort of in this way if they want to. But I'm open to, like I said, I'm open to you using something that's already there, or, oh gosh, excuse me, if you have something in mind, instead, we can always find a place for it.
You called Alvida a good friend. However, did a diplomat and a note become close?
I met Alvida when she was a sailor on the ship that took me to Alima. We hit it off quickly, even though it may be hard to believe when you look at me today. I was a little nervous at the idea of being all alone in a foreign country. She introduced me to the beauty of travel and discovery. We met again in Alima later, when she was visiting. During one of our last encounters, she helped me out of a tricky situation, even though she didn't have to. It was the first time someone had done something for me without expecting anything in return. That's rare, especially when you're a Devesp. My, just listen to me, getting all sentimental. The reason doesn't matter much in the end. We're friends, that's all.
If you do want to be from Equifonte, basically be a knight, a high-ranking knight serving the Duke, I have a place for you and a way you can integrate into the party, if you're interested in that. Alright, let's flirt, I guess. I don't know, I feel like Vreden kind of likes her, but also, I don't know, maybe he's torn, because the other girl, the woman from Thélème, does, to some extent, like I said, kind of remind him of her, of his childhood friend, his old guardian who died on the way over.
How do you always manage to make light of everything that happens? As if nothing really mattered.
Believe me, a lot of things are important to me. But derision and levity have saved my life more than once. When you're born into a family like mine, steeped in conspiracy and surrounded by murder, when tragedy and horror are daily occurrences, humor is the only way to keep from sinking into madness. I've seen firsthand what madness can drive us to. All I had to do was look at my dear cousin Octave. No doubt you had a very different childhood.
He is, I feel like, serious to a fault, though.
It's true. I haven't experienced murder and conspiracy. But things haven't always been perfect. My father died when I was a child. He was killed while out hunting. My mother found his body. She was never the same after that. But despite it all, I was lucky. The whole village was there for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why, but I imagined your life was peaceful before you were taken. We have such an idyllic vision of life on your island. I should have known it was just a fantasy.
Yeah, that is true. Again, it's the whole noble
Always
savage
at your
myth sort of
service.
falling apart a little bit, isn't it? Even for the characters. Alright, what about Alvida?
I wanted to tell you how sorry I am about what happened to your friend Shada. Losing her must have been terrible. You were close, and she died in such an unfair, cruel way. I am so sorry for your loss. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'd be very happy to listen.
Oh, that's nice.
Have you and Sybil known each other for a long time?
We met a few years ago, when I was a deckhand on the ship that brought her to Alima. We hit it off right away. And we saw each other several times while she was working. We became friends. And when I was looking for a way to get you out of jail, she was the first person who came to mind.
So it was her idea.
She's resourceful, but also funny. You should see her impression of her uncle. She's incredible.
So, it's interesting. It was Alina, right? It's her idea to free them. But Sybil was willing to completely go along with it and sacrifice her position as legate with the Merchants Congregation. That's a hell of a commitment, either for her friend or maybe something more. Maybe recognizing that that what the Bridge Alliance is doing here is just horrific. Maybe. I don't know.
What were you doing on the ship that kidnapped us, if you didn't approve of their actions?
When you're a common sailor, you can't choose which ship you embark on. And you can't choose your missions, or what you're transporting.
Or who.
Like most Nods, I disapprove of carrying forced passengers. And believe me, I said just that to my captain at the time. But alas, he's the kind of person who puts profit above conscience, enriching the guild rather than adhering to its original spirit. I'll do my best to redeem my people and convince them to stop the trafficking.
I also forgot of how armor conventions are a little bit weird in this setting. That the like, look at her breastplate, which is a Coin Guard breastplate. It's unlike real armor, like real historical armor, tended to be tended to focus high, and if anything, cut off high at the waist, rather than down to almost the hips, which is what that one does. It has very little up the top. It's held on just by straps. It's an interesting aesthetic. It sets the setting apart, certainly, but it's also like weirdly impractical because there's massive armor gaps around vital areas. I don't know if
I won't
like
bother
that.
you any longer.
See you soon.
Yeah, like, sure, you have the sort of chainmail upper piece, but like right underneath the chainmail, there's this gap between the chainmail and the breastplate, right into your ribs. It's not good, man. I don't know, something about that seems, impractical to me. Alright, what about Ludwig and then finally Nils?
How can I help you?
Where are you from?
If I've understood correctly, you're from the land they call Dutton.
That's right. The Holy Dutton Empire. I suppose you'd like me to tell you more about it. It could be a beautiful place to live. It's vast, full of beautiful forests and rich lands. That's most likely because it's soaked in the blood of the poor souls who were sacrificed to the folly of the powerful. For my country has always been at war. Or at least it has been for so long that no person alive knows the meaning of the word peace. We're at war with the Alliance, of course, as the Dutton Empire follows the path of the enlightened. But we are also at war with ourselves.
Really?
Ever since a new holy man challenged the organization of all things spiritual as imposed by Ptolemy, the nobles and princes have taken sides, following whoever best serves their interests, of course.
Wait, so is the Dutton Empire
And as usual,
allied
the
with
people are
Ptolemy?
those who pay the price. Not only are they sent to the slaughter against the Alliance troops, they must also shed blood at home by killing their brethren in the service of the local noblemen and their loyalties of the day. A beautiful country indeed.
Sounds like you don't like it.
How long have you known Alvida?
It's been some time now. I've had dealings with Naughts on several occasions in the hope of using their ships. Those who agree to traffic contraband are few and far between, and they are unreliable. They're even more unscrupulous than I am. Alvida isn't one of them. She's not like that, and she let me know the moment we met. She's an idealist. I understand her point of view, and I think she understands mine. Though she doesn't approve of my dealings, she defends some causes that are dear to me. And now that she owes me, I know I can count on her help.
You're going to exploit that, aren't you?
What I ask for doesn't offend her
okay.
vision of the Naughts.
Well, that's good. Yeah, so the Juden Empire is interesting. That they follow the Enlightened, but are separate from Ptolemy. And something about a new holy man? I'm curious as to see where that goes. Interesting. Because again, this is a whole empire that was never mentioned in the first game. Presumably, I guess, because they never established a presence on Tier 4D, given their internal conflicts. But it's a rather sudden and major addition to the world building.
Why did you become a smuggler?
I'd rather not discuss that if you don't mind, especially with someone I barely know. But since you're asking, I haven't always been a smuggler. I used to be a soldier. If you absolutely need a reason for what I do, just tell yourself that I've had my fill of the horrors of war. Or maybe you think I'm a coward, or that I'm only motivated by greed. I am what I am.
I didn't say any of that. But okay. I was about to say, that's actually really bold for a game to do, to have a conversation option where he just says, no, go to hell. I don't know who you are. Stop asking me weird questions. Like, that would be a bold decision. But then, of course, he goes on to basically fully explain the situation, so, having their cake and eating it too, I guess.
I think you mentioned you were a wanted man.
You can't be a smuggler without ending up on the hit list at some point. My trade annoys a lot of people, and the few attacks my friends and I carried out on convoys annoyed them even more.
Ooh.
Put all that together and add in my
So you're a brigand
past,
too.
and you'll find me at the top of the list. If you needed money and weren't wanted yourself, you could claim a handsome bounty by turning me in.
Please make that an option. I don't necessarily want to do it because I kind of like this guy, kind of, maybe, we'll see. But that really should be,
of course,
an option. Like, if this is an RPG, I should be able to turn him in. Maybe in exchange for guarantee of freedom or something like that. All right, brother.
You seem a little lost. Need some help?
Okay, what the fuck?
Quai galos meo leg vriden am ger.
Faret esto samel
Oh, they're talking native. Of course they are. Why would they not be?
Diam kladen
Here for the
vriden
enemy.
an duben an etalemem. Esto samesa loban. Jam to klade vintan lau. Sista hawel de hetira renoixamen nama began, a goita kene.
Smejuns de do flanem. Ade hedan.
Ole siu. A balden dani. A kantabeit endon ole hamsteram. Quan smeuin denes dirnen bocht. Maraduer samel kon. Quan sient nadach des. Tausit magreda chaliedu. Asheda? Es mes quies. Boko vednixe. Oleg arulanda nadach toame. Em abal samel sa. De denyasem ovunag.
Yeah, that was
Ag
definitely
ane
Malachor.
dargnet. En aglede mar en sa gaudam. Regt ma hanemam. Ose samel ma hirem, fravins. Ato? Smeons dent eduvan?
Kagwen I dachtam. Asie en do leg vregu for smeuni winta bertas. Hagen ole hamsteras jam rendem komolei.
Es samel knedam jam ren. To ame, da he krechtom sam. Minund ni da holeg.
What do you think about this continent they've brought us
Oh,
to?
well, now we're speaking
Brought?
English.
Deported or thrown would be more correct. I don't know what to tell you. It's such a strange place. Everything is huge and ominous, other than nature, which seems to be in constant suffering. The rivers are stale, the hills are bare, and the soil is poor. Here there is no healing song from the one of 1,000 faces. There is just an atrocious and deafening lament that echoes my own anger.
I wonder,
See you later.
how are we able to use magic here? Because our magic is derived from Enum Frictimen. Alright, come on, guys. Let's go a direction, shall we? Where are we supposed to be going, anyway? What's this? Let's see what that is, shall we? Oh, wait, let's go down. And then up. Oh, look, a chest. Some stuff. Cool. Not that way. This way. I wonder if I can get past the monkeys. I can't get past the monkeys. Wait, yeah, I can. Sweet. What's this? Humid cave. This feels like this is going to be a insurmountable boss fight right near the starting area. The point of which is to show you not to leave the beaten path. That's how RPGs do this, right? There's a dead guy right here. This is an ambush. There's even something falling from the ceiling. Like it's a giant spider or something, right? Right? Okay, not yet. Whatever it was has not yet jumped upon me. Interesting. Oh, it's more of those bastards. That's all. Alright, well, I kind of want to go there. Have a dead guy and something else there. Okay. You have a gun? No. That's a melee attack. No, not move. They're coming this way. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna cutting charge it. And Nilan can shoot it. Fausta can teleport to one. Ludwig can violent charge back at that one.
My armor's no good anymore.
Ooh, hold on. Ow. Shoot. Utility potions, healing potions, tactical utility potions. Energizing purge. Oh, Jesus. I don't have any resurrections. I don't have revival. Oh, man. Okay, that's not good. Is that gonna work? I doubt it. Let's try having Fausta go. Divine Ray.
Lost one of ours! I must remain focused. My armor is completely ruined.
Okay, let's go here in combat healing. Frieden is going to cutting charge you. And then sharp edge there. Ludwig can taunt. Iron Breaker. Fausta. Weapon Blessing. She can also weaken that one. Excuse me. Actually, she'll weaken that one. While we all focus on killing this guy. Yeah, killing touch. let's knock you down. And then... No, not that.
May the shadows crush you!
Let's first aid myself. And then go to here. And then we'll, eventually we'll find out if Nilan is ever coming back. Frieden, what are you doing? Okay. That wasn't a lot. Okay. Cool. Now what? They were all down here, right? No, they were down there. All right. Now then, let's be onward. And upward, I suppose. Alright, I think we will wrap it up pretty shortly. Oh, monkeys. I didn't expect that. I should have. Silly me. Oh, that's a lot of monkeys. Okay. Do I have any AoE attacks? Not really. Nilan. Wait, power shot. Nah, it doesn't help me. So just keep shooting. Ludwig can taunt all of them. This is going to be a really bad idea, isn't it? Alright, let's see. Oh, they're all rooted. Oh, no, they're taunted. Okay. Let's just focus fire, shall we? Whoops. I was using the wrong character. That's not good. Okay, hurt that one, then keep attacking this one. She can... combat healing is around the caster. That's not great. She needs to be in the battle. She doesn't want to be in the battle. Not at all. I'll wait on healing wave. But I might need it. Okay. That one's dead. Okay. Killing touch. I guess that one. You can... Still can't use Divine Ray yet. Apply weakness to you. Poison that one. And then a knockdown. That's fine. Yes. Healing Ray. Or not Healing Ray. Blasty. Divine Magic thing. Alright, Killing Touch. Once again. First Aid to Ludwig. Oh shoot, there's more. Let's cutting charge. Fausta and projection, knock it back. Milan coded that one. Ludwig can taunt, but he'll finally charge first. Okay. Right now we're taunting these two. And I can kill. No, not that one. That one. Milan. Heal Fausta. Divine Ray, you. That'll work. Oh, whoops. Region over there. Well, that was something. All right, monkeys. Why did the monkeys overtake the orchard? I mean, honestly, we know why the monkeys overtook the orchard. food, but like...
Let's take this rope. This sort of thing is always useful.
Rope. That seemed like that was a hint. Let's take this rope. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. Alright, yeah, well, now what? I came from down there, I guess we gotta go up this way, huh? Esquiara. That right there is a gorgeous little town. And that is a wonderful place for us to stop tonight. Alright, well. We're finally getting into things. So thanks for joining. That was fun. Got to kill some monkeys. And crabs. And coin guard. Talk about some interesting things. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me again. I will see you guys next week for some more Fable 3. And then some more Greedfall 2. I'm not sure what days for each of those. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna shoot for Monday, Wednesday. We'll see what happens. In addition, neat thing, come and join me over this weekend, tomorrow evening, or afterwards if you want to watch the video on demand, for the next episode of my stupid little podcast, which is going to be live, at least recorded live. And it's going to discuss a particularly bad video on Thomas Aquinas and blaming him for sexual ethics because, you know, modern thoughts gonna be like they are. Anyway, I'm out of funny lines, so that's how I can tell it's time to call it a night. So see you tomorrow night for that. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. And then I'll see you next week. Hopefully Monday, Wednesday. We'll see about that though. We'll see for sure. For Fable 3 and for more Greedfall 2. So, have a good night. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks.